Good day to all of you out there. Welcome to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran. And join us today, please join us today, January 5, 2021. It's a Tuesday. And today we are going to have an interesting lineup of guests. We will first have Bong Nebrija, Colonel Bong Nebrija of the MMDA, EDSA Traffic Manager, and then we will have Undersecretary William Medrano of the Department of Agriculture and Sergio Ortiz-Luis, President of the Employers Confederation of the Philippines. Pag-uusapan po natin with Bong Nebrija yung state na ng EDSA, mga planong pagbubukas o pagsasara ng mga U-turn slot, and of course the effect of the Skyway 3 opening on EDSA, because a lot of people are expecting that traffic will ease up on EDSA once the Skyway is fully functional, crossing all the way from SLEX to NLEX. In any case, we'll find out more about that. We will also be speaking to Yusek William Medrano regarding ASF. Kasi kahapon po, actually, hindi kahapon, nung Sabado, may lumabas pong report from the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, because apparently they monitor a lot of the agricultural activities of different countries in the world. Siyempre, maapektuhan din sila pag may mga nagiging problema ang ibang bansa. And they reported, the Department of Agriculture, USDA, reported that in the Philippines for 2021, babagsak po ang production ng baboy by 10%. Medyo million po yung pinag-uusapan natin, milyong toneladang pinag-uusapan natin, and all of this will be because of ASF. And if you read my column yesterday, I shared in my column yesterday na ako po ay hog racer. Kumbaga, dati na lang akong hog racer, nagsara na rin po yung babuyan ko, and marami pong magbababoy ang nagsasara. Ako, backyard lang, no? Kumbaga, hobby lang yun sa akin. Kahit na pagsamasamahin ko lahat ng nadisgrasya sa akin, maliit. But there are hog racers who lost as many as 1,700 pigs. May nadinig po ako dito sa Batangas na 6,000 pigs, etc. May mga commercial farms po na nagsasara na o nag-drastic reduction na. Meron akong alam na kanilang inahin pa lang, ang kanilang mga inahin, their sows are 1,500. They have cut it down to 150 pala, sorry, 150 sows, they've cut down to 50 na lang. Kasi sabi nga, ayaw na namin. That is the trend now. Maraming farms na medyo nawawala na ng gana, nadidismaya, and we will speak to Yusek Medrano about that. And of course, yung kay Sergio Ortiz-Luis, tanungin natin si Sir Sergio, ano ba ang basa nila sa ekonomiya? Because alam niyo po, may mga alam niyo kami, ang batayan lang namin, our basis for economic movement is basically spending of Filipinos. And if you were to judge this on the malls, yung mga mega mall, yung mga estancia, yung mga iba-iba, yung Ayala 30th, etc., medyo matumal po nung Pasko. And even during the New Year, people did not really draw from their pockets and spend money. And a lot of people I speak with, they're saying medyo approach with caution. Yun po ang motto for 2021, approach with caution. We are hopeful. I want to be hopeful. I have my own plans. I have my ideas for 2021. But I am also going to adopt that approach with caution. So please join us. I hope you are watching us via Signal TV, Channels 8. And if you want HD, Channel 250. And also you can watch us via Facebook. Kung kayo po mga nasa abroad, Happy New Year sa inyo mga kababayan. You can watch us via facebook.com/onenewsph. And of course, on YouTube, search for One News PH. Okay, let's move on to the front page of the Philippine Star. President Rodrigo Duterte has spoken on the vaccine controversy involving members of the Presidential Security Group and he says he won't allow them to face the investigation. Balita ko po hating gabi nung nagpakita at narinig ang Pangulong Duterte na nagsalita sa bagay na ito. And frankly, it was expected. You know, it has now become the trend of presidents. And he's not the only one. You have past presidents who have adopted that policy. Na pag may investigasyon, ang Senado o Kongreso at medyo sasabit o mainit, ginagawa ng mga nakaraang Pangulo, don't appear. I am going to invoke executive privilege, etc., etc., presidential order. So, kumbaga, covered na by power of the president. But mind you, makaraan ang pagkapangulo ng isang pangulo, dadalaw pa rin ang hustisya sa pintuan nyo. Kasi may mga pangulo ngayon na may mga kasong hinaharap. Okay? Your presidency, okay, well, passed, and even the current presidency, kung may mali, pananagutan din po yan sa hinaharap in the future. But I'm not saying, well, I have to say it. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. You know, when you prevent the Senate or the appropriate authorities from performing their duty, particularly in this case, an investigation to possibility of graft or violation of the laws of the Republic, medyo ano po yung krimen po yun. So, delikado po tayo dyan. Ano? So, pag-isipan po ng maigi, it's not just a matter of blocking or kumbaga, hindi nga blocking ito, obstruction of justice. Yun po yung paninimulan nitong problema na ito. In any case, meanwhile, the palace is hoping that the saliva-based COVID test would soon be available in the country. It would soon be available in the country if we were more open to letting it into the country the same way some people in Malacanang have been very open to letting in a Chinese-made vaccine and letting the PSG use it. Okay? Ganun lang po kasimple yun. If you really have the Filipino interest in mind, kung ano yung ginagawa nyo para sa inyo, gawin din nyo sana para sa amin. Okay. Meanwhile, in other news, child pornography transactions worth 113 million pesos were reported in the first half of last year, double compared to 2019. Ito po, marami sa inyo hindi pinapansin itong mga balitang to. We ignore reports of child pornography because we say, it's so malaswa, it is so revolting, and we don't want to face it, no? And we always assume na child pornography, it involves little kids, etc. Hindi po, kasi yung child in this part of the law, it covers 18 and below. So yung iba po dyan, hindi actual child as we think. They're young adults, they're teenagers, they're 18ers, 19ers, exact yan, 19ers, no? Di ba? Sila, Bobby, ano ba yun? Yung palabas yun. In any case, it's a serious problem. And if you see that problem in your household, you have to address it. Kasi alam niyo po, yung pornography, malaking problema sa mga kalalakihan at sa ilang kababaihan. It robs you of your being, of your life, etc. And we need to really address this at home. Kasi sa bahay naman po nagsisimula yan. Checkin niyo yung mga anak niyo, yung mga asawa niyo. Lalo na kayong mga ama, mga asawa na mahilig sa malaswang bagay. Please, no? You may think, it's private. Yeah. What if it's done to your daughter? What if it's done to your wife? Yung litrato pinaskil na kung saan-saan. In any case, let's move on. At the top of the page, reports have gone out that 98,000 Chinese who are part of the pogo industry in the country has had vaccination. Ito po, no, ang response po dyan ng isang talking head sa Malacanang, well, that's 90, actually akala niya 100,000, ako akala ko 1,000 100,000. Sabi niya, that's 100,000 less people we need to talk about. Napaka-piloso po, ang galing sumagot, akala mo nasa korte. Nako po, do not insult our intelligence, okay? DIO Do not insult our intelligence. Okay. Now, the Philippine government is also looking into tightening travel restrictions, even considering restricting entry of OFWs from countries reported to have the UK variant. Ayan na po. Kasi yan ang katotohanan, medyo tayo po ay namumroblema doon sa mga bumabalik na OFW. Ito naman kasi ang tanong dyan eh. Anyari doon sa bilyong pisong mga kinokolekta nyo sa OFW. Ano nangyari doon sa pinagmamalaki ninyong napakaganda ng pangangalaga natin sa OFW? Pagkatapos, pagdating dito, isasalampak natin kung saan. Pagkatapos, sasabihin natin na, hindi, ano naman kasi sagot yan ng ganito, sagot yan ng ganito. Tapos sasabihin ng Red Cross, hindi nga kayo makabayad nung patest etc. So, ayan. Tapos, ang sagot nyo, wag na lang natin pauwiin para wala na tayong problema, wala na tayong gastos, hindi na kumakalat yung tapos papalabasin natin UK variant. Lahat ng katangahan at walang magawa, sinisisi na lang ngayon dyan sa UK variant na yan. At the lower part of the page of the front page of the Philippine SAR, Senate President Tito Soto files a bill seeking the renewal of the ABS-CBN franchise. Ayan na po, no? Ayan na po. Ngayon, may ilan sa inyo nagsasabi, balik na natin yung franchise ng ABS-CBN. Pero nung mainit, wala kayong mga karamihan sa inyo. Hindi ko naman sinasabing lahat, no? Pero karamihan, lalo na sa Kongreso, nanahimik. Yung Senado, to be fair, nagsalita sila, no? Pero salita lang. Ngayon, balik ang franchise ng ABS-CBN. Pumayag kaya yung mama dun sa Pasig. Okay. And then, last but not the least, okay, ito po medyo masakit na storya. Dun po, yan, sa lower right ng Philippine Star, no? Dalawang storya, yung flight attendant, pinagsususpecha kasi meron pong natagpo ang flight attendant patay sa bathtub ng isang hotel. Nagparty sila nung New Year, kinaumagahan, nakita bangkay na siya. At sabi, may pumutok na ugat. Okay? Aneurysm, aortic aneurysm. Ang hindi ko maintindihan, biglang nilabas na sa dyaryo, baka raw na-rape. Ito po ang masakit dito. Kung magulang kayo nitong batang to, sasabihin ninyo, bakit naman ganyan nilalagay nyo sa dyaryo? Ito kasi ito po mga nag-iimbestiga, daldal ng daldal, hindi pa naman pala nila nako-confirm. Wala pa silang testigo na magsasabing na-rape nga siya. Kasi 11 lalaki daw yung nando doon, party. Siguro may mga ibang babae din, naiwan lang yung batang yon. In any case, it should be a lesson for many of our young women out there. Alam niyo po, mag-ingat po kayo right now. Ang dami ng mga date rape, drugs. Mag-ingat kayo. Ang daming mga nabibiktima ng sobrang toma, etc. May mga matitino, paiinumin na lang. Akala mo, uminom kang juice Yung pala, yung gamot na pampatulog at pampalimot. In any case, and last but not the least, Red Cross plans to administer COVID-19 vaccines to 1 million Filipinos. Okay. Ayan na po, no? 1 million Filipinos. Ang tanong kasi ito yun naman sinabi ko kahapon kay Congresswoman Kimbo, kung nandiyan na yung pera, bakit yung pamahalaan natin hindi pa bumibili ng vaccine? Kahit mapatingi-tingi, para sabi nga, ikaw yung tiga-Pasig, sabi ng tiga-Pasig, yung mga illegally nagpa-vaccinate o nabakunahan na mga POGO workers, baka naman sa China nabakunahan, it's 100,000 less to worry about. Pinangangalanda ka ng Malacanang may pera, ba't hindi kayo mamili? Para mabawasan na yung baka tamaan. You know, it's a real concern for me because I have a friend, yung he was scheduled for vaccination in the US. Meron na siyang schedule. nag-alanganin. Sabi niya, teka, hindi ako sigurado dyan sa vaccine na yan. Baka mamaya may side effect. Hindi nagpabakuna. 2 weeks later, tinamaan po ng COVID-19. Awa ng Diyos, okay naman siya. Pinagdadasal namin siya. We continue to pray for him every day na makarecover siya, no? But that's the reality. In any case, okay, alamin natin kung ready na itong aking aking mga lineup. Okay, let's find out is Colonel Bong Nebrija, MMDA EDSA Traffic Manager. Good morning to you, sir.
Cito, good morning and good morning to all your followers.
Okay, happy birthday bigla eh. Nagmamadali. Happy New Year. Kasi sawa na talaga doon sa nakaraang taon eh. Okay. In any case, Colonel
Yes.
Bong, kamusta ba tayo dyan sa EDSA? Most people are assuming that you're going to be happier this new year sa EDSA management kasi bukas na itong Skyway 3.
Mm.
Have you noticed an effect? Is there an actual effect after the first day of work in 2021?
Well, partly Cito, Skyway 3 is one of the things that we need to thank for the light traffic that we experienced yesterday. First
Mhm.
day back to work this 2021. But we want to be sure on this and we want to get the volume that have been diverted away from EDSA that took Skyway 3 instead. So we're asking the management of Skyway 3 if they could provide us with the initial volume count of those motor vehicles that that ply that route starting when they started to open it.
Mhm.
And partly, Cito, also, we haven't seen the influx of passengers coming from the provinces compared to those who, went for vacation, no?
Mhm.
The numbers that PITX is showing us is below the number that really went out. And so that's one thing also. And maybe probably many of our kababayans have extended their vacation considering that they have been locked down last year for the longest period of time. And then when they were able to, get back to the provinces and be with their loved ones, and they took advantage of it and extended their holidays.
Okay, so as far as that's concerned, hindi pa natin talaga masasabi, too early to tell. Ngayon, ang tanong, what about commercial vehicles? Because I know approaching into the holidays, inimpose natin yung truck ban. And
Yes.
to be told, actually a lot of people were thankful for that kasi nagiging crazy na yung traffic.
Mm.
Paano ang setup ngayon with 2021? What is back in place in terms of yung odd even, yung truck ban, etc., etc. Please take advantage of the time, Colonel.
The management of MMDA have decided to continue the lifting of the number coding, so we will not have that for now.
Mhm.
It will remain suspended. This is because to give way to first to our frontliners, because most of our frontliners, particularly our health workers, their primary mode of transportation are still there, are still private vehicles, and we
Mhm.
do not want to be overwhelmed on the management side that will be overwhelmed with requests of exemptions. So we decided to just keep the number coding suspended for a time. And also, as you notice, Sito, we only suspended the truck ban, but not the light truck. I mean, we only reimposed the truck ban and not the light truck ban. So
Mm.
there's still the lifting of the light truck ban for now, so that this will give way for the intercity or metropolitan Manila transfer of goods, from one city to another or from warehouse to the end users. So that's why we haven't reimposed the light truck ban yet, to give way also for the movement of goods and products.
Okay, now what about hindi ko masabi na new kasi luma na rin ano pero hindi pa napapatupad yung mga yung mga suggested lanes, dedicated lanes like motorcycle lanes kasi Colonel padami ng padami. We have there are forecasts that motorcycle sales are just going to go through the roof for 2021 as people start abandoning cars at home and switching to motorcycles for economic and mobility concerns. What about that? And also bicycle lanes. Although we had several introductions of bicycle lanes in 2020, but I think there's a overall expectation that there will be more or should be more.
Well, for the bike lane, Sito, well, good news. The fund is
Mm.
there already. The last time that we talked to the OTR Secretary Tugate, he already told us there's a 1 billion uh, fund coming from Bayanihan 2 that will be dedicated in building up more bike lanes in Metro Manila and other
Mhm.
parts of the country. So, and he assured that the bike lanes on EDSA will push through, the protected bike lanes, so to speak, will push through.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of time that this will be implemented. As you could see, if you have noticed it, I just do not know if you went out already these holidays and passed through EDSA. There are portions of EDSA that we have already started the repainting or the
Mm.
changing of lane markings. No,
Mhm.
so you could see it's already aligned with the busway that we have, and there will be an excess, I think, 2 meters or so on the right side on the curb side, and that's the
Mhm.
plan to put where to put the bike lanes. And just like what you said, we're still working on the possibility of putting it side by side with motorcycle lane if
Perfect.
there will be if only we could get the protected bike lanes. It should be protected bike lanes so
Mm.
that it could be side by side with motorcycling lanes.
Oo, well, that would be perfect and siguro after that gaganahan na karamihan sa atin magbisikleta na lang at magmotorsiklo kasi ang concern was I think it was Secretary Tugade who once said na ayaw niyang magmukhang Vietnam yung mga kalsada na puro na lang motorsiklo. But I think COVID-19 changed our reality. Kumbaga, no
Yes, yes.
choice na tayo. We were all gonna end up on motorcycles and less on cars. In any case, so you'll have your protected bicycle lane because the money is there according to Secretary Tugade.
Yes.
Yung motorcycle lanes, add-on na lang yan. Will they also be protected motorcycle lanes? Kasi may mga nagsasabi naman, okay na yung bus lane, okay na sila doon,
Mm-hmm.
and then okay na rin yung 2 lanes or 2.5 lanes para sa kotse, and we will still have more than enough for the motorcycle and the bicycle.
Yes, that's right, Sito, no? Well, actually, just like what you said a while ago, many people are switching to motorcycles because of their, one, affordability, and two, in maneuverability, you know?
Mm.
Uh, if we will be putting the protected bicycle lane side by side with the motorcycle lane, I think we will just put a line for now
Mm-hmm.
because we do not want to hamper their maneuverability. It might they just might get involved in accidents if we will do that. So
Mm-hmm.
again, Sito, this is at the hands of the PWH on how much space are they going to give one the bicycle lane into the motorcycle lane. So
Mm-hmm.
they're studying it right now, and the funding is there. And let me just add, Sito, we're also
Yeah.
coming up with a project which is a bike share program. If you could see the old waiting area or bus stops that we used to have on the side of EDSA,
Yeah.
we will be transforming that into a bike share program wherein we're going to put bicycles for rent. Just like in other countries, these are lock bicycles. You
Mm-hmm.
need to swipe your beep card or credit card or ATM card, and then you could pull out the bike to any point of destination along EDSA, return it to any near stations to your point of destination, and then you will be charged accordingly. So this is another innovation that we're coming up with so that to encourage people to find alternative mode of transportation. And
Well,
also,
oh, yeah.
the elevated walkway will push through. So that's good news. Again, we're coming up with all these alternative mode of transportation, whether it's active or motorized, and so that people have more choices and we could divert the volume of road users from the road to elevated walkways to bikeways.
Okay, yung elevated walkway, I have to confess, I'm not too familiar with how you're going to implement that. Could you explain that, Colonel?
Well, the elevated walkways dito will be attached to the MRT, LRT along EDSA.
Mm,
So the platform that you will be using will be the same platform that you use for the MRT. So
okay.
you will go up, then it will be the bikeway will be side by side with the MRT outside the tracks, of course. And then
Mm,
it's a 5 5 meter with walkway
mm.
shaded with greeneries
Okay.
with
Pa-
greeneries
parang yung
just like
sa ano?
The one in Ayala, just like the
Sorry.
one in
Hindi
Ayala.
hindi ako nakakaabot doon, Colonel eh. Pero parang
Where they
parang
connected.
abroad sa Japan. Parang abroad,
Yes, yes,
Japan,
yes.
Thailand, ganon.
Correct, correct,
Aha.
correct. Wherein these stations will eventually connected by a walkway,
Mm,
so that people will be encouraged to walk instead of just taking mass public transportation. Especially if you're just one station away from
mm.
where you're going, you might as well opt to walk rather than take a ride.
Ayun. At saka siguro mas maganda gawin nating fashion statement yung kulay nating dalawa. 'Di ba? Yung pag maitim ka, pag ano ka, moreno ka, gwapo ka o maganda ka kasi nang hirap dito sa Pilipinas eh. Masyadong takot maarawan eh. In any case,
Correct,
okay,
correct.
so elevated walkways, which is a good idea because a lot of the companies can then connect to those
Yes.
facilities. So parang, kasi nakita ko yan sa Tokyo eh. Merong mga bridges direct to the commercial areas or business
Mhm.
establishments. So, ang mga tao karamihan naglalakad na lang talaga, hindi sila nahihirapan.
That's right. And also, this is PWD friendly, considering that most of our MRT stations have elevators.
Yeah.
So they will just go up the platform and take the elevated walkway to go to their point of destination, even without taking a ride on their own.
Okay. Any other new developments? Yung kasi isa sa mga pinag-iinteresan ng mga people on the ground driving ay yung itong U-turn slots, etc. Kasi
Mhm.
before the holidays, I know that you guys opened up two slots somewhere in the Balintawak area upon the request of Mayor Joy Belmonte. What is the status now? Any updates?
Actually, Sito, that's a funny thing, because
Mm.
uh, before we've been criticized on closing the U-turns. But we stood firm with our numbers and told the people that U-turns are basically choke point generator and
Mm.
traffic generators as well. So if we will be closing this down, everybody will just be flowing through
Mm.
to their point of destination. And but Mayor Belmonte asked from us an immediate solution because we cannot open up the North Avenue intersection or the Congressional Roosevelt intersection anyway, which are being asked of us to do. So we gave an alternative of opening up the QCA U-turn, the Quezon City Academy U-turn, which is the highest volume U-turn in
Mm.
that area. And they committed that they will be manning this because what our worry was, Cito, with opening up a U-turn with the busway already operating, is we're creating an intersection, which is too
Mm.
dangerous,
Yeah.
because the U-turning vehicle will be outside the busway, which is just through and through.
Mm.
So we really need to
Kumbaga
man this to prevent
salubong.
that. Yes, yes, it's a
Oh,
conflict. It's a big conflict that we really need to manage. And
okay.
well, so far so good. But we're having problems with, well, again, with the mindset of the motorists because everybody is rushing towards the U-turn. We're telling
Mm.
them that we will only dedicate one lane, but
Mm.
they're taking two, they're taking three lanes, and literally they're blocking the whole stretch of northbound and southbound of EDSA. And we're
Mhm.
seeing traffic extending up to Monumento and traffic extending to Timog area, no?
Mhm.
And we've adjusted our personnel to manage this so that we will not see this kind of
Kasi
congestion
siguro,
anymore.
Colonel, alam mo, I know you guys are being consumer-friendly, driver-friendly, but I think in 2021, the word should be road discipline and mamili ka, diretso ka o ticket ka. Because I agree that, you know, we can do the U-turn slots if Filipino drivers actually follow the U-turn procedure of observing one lane. Eh marami talagang bastos, mga walang ya, mga balasubas. Ako ayoko na magsalita, baka makastigate ako. Pero siguro ang katapat noon, ticket na lang. Tikitan nyo na ng tikitan. Wag na yung wag na yung no contact apprehension. Tikitan nyo ng tikitan o kunan nyo na ng lisensya para magtanda. Because I know that when drivers see this, and there is a high respect for MMDA anyway, when they see that they're going to get ticketed and nagchismis na, titigil at titigil eh.
That's right, Cito. Actually, one time we tried to manage that intersection together with the QCDPOS, and you'll be surprised that people are getting mad at us for doing what needs to be done in that area to keep people and road users safe. And
Precisely, precisely, Colonel Bong,
true.
because I think people have forgotten what it feels like to experience being arrested. Yun ang naging problema natin dyan sa contactless apprehension. Kanya noon, I've never supported it. Sabi ko kasi, kailangan matikman, makita at maranasan ng tao. Kasi yung contactless apprehension, nadidelay ng matagal. Malalaman nila several weeks or months. And you know, you don't feel it on the spot. Yung bata nga, pinapalo natin kagad pag talaga nang walang ya. Ito pang mga driver na ito. I'm just saying, no, sorry, I don't want to preach, Colonel, but hindi, because I really believe that once people see, talaga palang seryoso na, because that's the issue eh. Kanya,
That's right.
ang attitude nila ngayon, their attitude is, hey, why are you arresting me? Why aren't you arresting other people? And it's become an attitude. We've become so Americanized. I'm sorry, Americanized. They feel entitled. In any case,
Uh,
continue. So what's our situation with the U-turn slots?
so we're keeping the QC. That's not the long-term solution, Sito, in this
Oh,
problem that we are encountering with the busway and the U-turning vehicles. Our long-term plan is to put up an elevated busway. The elevated busway,
yeah.
we have already proposed this to the OTR. They're sourcing funds for this, and DPWH has already started their assessment on where's the best place to put this along the busway. uh, we're coming up with two pairs, one in between Quezon Avenue and Congressional, and another pair from Congressional up to Monumento. So this
Mm.
will solve the U-turn slots in those areas. Um, we simulated this. We presented our study on this. This is a win-win, not for us, but for commuters and
Motorists, yeah.
private vehicle owners. Yes, so
Yeah.
this will be good. However, Sito, again, an infrastructure entails fund, and it will take time. So
Nako,
I'm just
siguro
asking.
makiusap na lang tayo sa San Miguel. Kasi kung kaya nga nilang gumawa ng highway gawa sa bakal, kaya nilang gumawa ng bus stop dyan. Total, I mean, to fair is fair. Ramon Ang had the first suggestion of building those elevated bus stops. In any case, I have to really rush everything, Colonel Bong. Quickly lang, ano ba itong zipper lane daw dun sa Commonwealth? What's the situation? Wow, what's it about and what are you going to do about it?
Well, the zipper lane is an intervention that we came up with. I mean, the Quezon City government came up with because of
Mm,
the extension of the MRT 7 project
mm.
along North Avenue. It was supposed to be completed, I think, last year, and then they extended it up to February this year. And well, people are really getting mad because not only the motorists who are going to offices, but even the regular household commuters along that area, the short errands have become longer than usual because of the traffic on Commonwealth. So
Correct.
that's why the Quezon City government came up with the suggestion of having a zipper lane. It will only run in the morning from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Rush hour.
So rush hour coming from Tandansora U-turn you enter the zipper lane, counterflow the direction going to Fairview, and then turn left to University Avenue. So
Mm.
in that intersection, however, in the University Avenue and the zipper lane turning left, there will be a stop and go between those proceeding towards Fairview and those turning left to University Avenue. So
Mm.
we dry run this from 31st to January 3. We initially implemented yesterday, but we haven't seen the volume that we expected yet yesterday. So it was less cars who used the zipper lane. So probably when the volume, the regular volume comes back, that's the time that we will see the effect and the
Okay.
adjustments that we will be making on that.
Okay, well, please keep us posted, Colonel. And
Of course.
again, thank you for joining us this morning. And I sincerely wish you a happy and medyo kalma New Year 2021. God bless you, bro.
God bless you, Cito. Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Okay, that's Colonel Bong Nebrija, the EDSA SAR, the EDSA manager, traffic manager. And I sincerely hope that the opening of the Skyway 3 ng San Miguel Corporation ay makakatulong po sa daloy ng traffic dito sa EDSA, at kung hindi ay magtipid-tipid na po kayo ng biyahe kasi talagang masasayang lang ang oras ninyo pag lahat tayo nagpilit doon. In any case, we'll go for a quick break, and when we return, we'll speak with Undersecretary Willie Medrano of the Department of Agriculture tungkol naman po sa pagbababoy sa ASF. Meron pa bang kinabukasan ang pagbababoy sa Pilipinas? Here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program Agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and you are watching us via Signal TV, channels 8 or 250 for high definition. And you can also watch us via facebook.com/OneNewsPH, as well as on YouTube. Just search for One News PH. Okay, next up, we are going to talk about African swine fever. Para dun po sa inyong hindi pa nakakaalam o hindi nare-realize, African swine fever is the animal kingdom version or the piggery version ng COVID-19. It is highly infectious but unlike COVID-19, African swine fever sa baboy po, sa baboy, hindi po sa tao, for pigs is highly deadly. Okay? Mamamatay ka sa ayaw mo at sa gusto mo. In any case, just for your information, the African swine fever outbreak has already cost the Philippine hog industry 56 billion pesos according to the Department of Agriculture as of December 2020. Okay. Ang estimated po, both direct and indirect, including more than 400,000 culled pigs, as well as the decision of several farms to cut down on production, has resulted in that loss. And sabi ng Department of Agriculture, US Department of Agriculture, sa studies nila dito sa Pilipinas, ay bababa pa by 10% ang production. So wag na natin pahabain, puntahan natin yung kaibigan natin, Yusek Willie Medrano of the Department of Agriculture. Yusek, good morning po.
Hi, good morning, Cito. Happy New Year and Happy Three Kings. Good morning.
Okay, happy dahil tapos na yung aking pagdudusa. In any case, allow me to say publicly and on air, thank you. Thank you for assisting me in during a very difficult time when I came to terms with the fact that we needed to depopulate my piggery, my small backyard piggery. You helped me with, along with, I think, sino ba yung sa BAI? Si Ronnie Domingo, who called up the Lipa City, and sila naman doon, in turn, helped us to deal with the problem. In any case, it is a sad experience, but maniniwala ako, Yusek, na lahat ng mga nangyayari sa atin, pinapayagan ng Panginoon para maipasa naman natin yung kaalaman sa ibang tao. And which is why we've invited you to come to the program. As far as the African swine fever is concerned, what is the situation right now? Because yesterday, there was a report, even this morning, that pati Virac, Catanduanes, tinamaan na.
Yes, tama kasi ito, ang ASF is still one of the most pressing problems confronting the agriculture. May mga areas na bagong tinamaan, kagaya ng Iligan City, ngayon Virac, Catanduanes. But with the assistance of our local government units in those areas, in partnership with the Department of Agriculture regional field offices, kahit papano nako-contain natin. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ang target natin is we would like to really protect the green zones, especially in Mindanao and in the Visayas. So marami pa naman tayong green zones, at ito yung focus din ng ating preparedness and the prevention strategies para sana hindi makapasok itong ASF.
Mm.
Itong mga areas na tinamaan na, we are doing a lot of control management, so that in due time we hope na magkaroon na rin tayo ng repopulation. We call it calibrated repopulation. It's not easy to do that kasi siyempre may mga na baka nandiyan pa yung virus, but we will be very careful with the expertise of our veterinarians, both government and private. So may mga kinakasana tayong mga programa to repopulate yung mga areas na tinamaan.
Okay, what is your reaction, Yusek Willie, dun sa sinasabi ng the US Department of Agriculture na lalala pa yung sitwasyon natin? Kasi ang prediction nila, babagsak ang pork production by 10%. Last year, ang worry ko, just like you, was to contain the spread of ASF. Pero after the year 2020, I've come to realize that our concern should be yung direction na maraming magbababoy, no? Marami-rami na rin ako nakakausap na binabawasan na yung kanilang population. In fact, I spoke to someone, he had 150 hogs, inahin pa lang, no? Pero pa yung mga piglets niya, etc. Binaba na nila to 50 hogs. And sabi ko, bakit nyo binababa? Ang taas ng presyo, mas maganda nga ngayon. Sabi nila, sir, pag tinamaan naman kami ng ASF, nasa hot zone kami, masakit ho na mawalan ka ng 150. So dahan-dahan na naming binababa to 50 sow level yung aming operation. So in short, some people are now becoming cautious and on their own reducing their production levels.
Yeah, may mga commercial raisers talaga na nagde-decide to cut down their production to a lower level. Well, hindi natin sila masisi because of ASF scare. But on our part in government, we will try our best na yung mga affected areas ay sana malinisan natin with an intensive decontamination, disinfection of those areas. And
Yusek, sorry Yusek, no? Meron kasing pinapaabot sa Department of Agriculture yung ilang mga nakakausap ko, no? And they're asking, why are we compensating small backyard farmers pag dinepopulate, pero bakit daw po yung mga commercial farms hindi binibigyan ng ayuda pag sila ang tinamaan? Kasi I got the shock of my life, you know, when someone told me one farm lost 6,000 pigs. And inabot nga raw ng 3 days para patayin lahat ng baboy dun sa farm. Pero they were not entitled to compensation. Paki-explain lang. No? Hindi ko po kayo naaway, Yusek, ha? Para may chance kayo ma-explain. Kasi dami nagtanong bakit ganun? Ba't yung maliit binibigyan pero yung mga commercial farms walang ayuda?
Tama po yan, Cito. Talagang meron tayong guidelines on indemnification, okay, of yung culled infected animals. Sa ngayon, ang binibigyan lang natin ng indemnification payment ay yung mga backyard. Ibig sabihin, yung mga nag-aalaga ng mga 20 and below. Ang commercial farms, alam naman natin na kahit gugustuhin din natin sila mabigyan ng indemnification, we don't have that financial resources on the part of government para mabayaran po lahat. Kasi po ang only source ng yung tinatawag nating indemnification ay nanggagaling po doon sa Quick Response Fund. Ito po yung ang daming pinaggagamitan nito, mga typhoons, floods. And then nagbigay din po si President Duterte out of his contingency fund ay naubos na po lahat. Ngayon, ang malaki pa yung kulang, marami pa yung hindi nababayaran na mga backyard raisers. Alam naman natin na sila ang priority po dahil yan ay kanilang livelihood. Napakabigat po pag nawalan ng livelihood. So
what happened to the agriculture insurance program? Kasi ewan ko baka naman mali lang yung pagkakaintindi ko doon, Yusek. Kasi I remember si Artiap pa yung nagsabi nun sa akin na dapat meron tayong parang hindi lang para sa palay, yung agriculture insurance program na para katulad nito in 2021, whether we agree or disagree, chances are there will be more farms that will be hit by problems like this, and walang insurance, and hindi na rin babalik kasi katulad yung isang tao na 6,000 nang nawala. Kahapon nga may sumulat sa akin na si Wilhelm something, akala ko nga Wilhelm Soriano yata yun sa Pangasinan. Sabi niya hanggang ngayon binabayaran pa rin niya yung utang niya sa bangko na kinuha niya para maitayo yung piggery nila. Wala ba tayo ng agricultural insurance for livestock? Kasi meron tayo sa crop, di po ba, Yusek?
Tama, Sito. Nagkaroon na kami ng discussion sa PCIC, okay? Si Attorney Bernabe. At sinasabi niya na covered naman ang mga baboy. For as long as yung farmers ay nakaregister po sa RSBSA, yung registry ng mga farmers, at naka-register din yung kanilang mga alaga. Wala naman silang babayaran basta naka-register sila sa RSBSA. So pagka naka-register sila at siyempre nandun yung number of pigs na inalagaan, ay pagka namatay due to ASF, covered po sila. Covered sila.
Kung naka-register. So dapat, pero anong klaseng coverage meron doon? Magandang balita yan, Yusek. Anong klaseng coverage or compensation ang makli-claim nitong mga farmers nito? If you don't know, you don't know. No? I won't force you. Pero baka sakali lang na alam mo kung magkano yung babayad. Per ulo ba or claim yan? Yung total claim ang babayaran?
Yeah, per head din. Hindi ko lang sigurado kano yung amount na insured. Pero per head ang bayaran. Pero siyempre, kailangan din talaga ng mga investigation reports. Doon sa commercial farms, I really don't know kung covered sila dito sa PCIC.
I suppose they should also be covered because kasi sila nga yung tumataya sa agrikultura natin at sila yung sumusupply ng mga pangangailangan natin. In any case, I mean, that's good to know. Maybe you can pursue it or pwede natin kulitin kung sino man yung mga humahawak ng Committee on Agriculture para ma-address yan.
We'll talk to PCIC to verify kung covered ang mga commercial.
Okay. Matanong ko lang, Yusek Medrano, yung population, yung depopulation, ladies and gentlemen, is just a politically correct word for killing. Yeah, we depopulate the piggery. Pero yung repopulation, kasi marami nagsabi kaagad sa akin, Cito, okay lang yan, huwag kang mawala ng lakas ng loob kasi you can always repopulate. Pero when we did the research, may mga nagsasabi, it will take 6 months before you can repopulate. May mga nagsasabi naman that the virus can be in a building for as long as 4 years. Ano po ba? Meron na po ba tayong science concerning repopulation of ASF-affected farms?
Madali naman i-control yung ASF virus with a series of disinfection, okay? Kung ang pag-usapan lang ay yung housing, chemicals tayo. But again, just like COVID, kahit na disinfect mo yung area, kung merong malapit na merong pa rin na napakadaling lumipat. Yun ang danger. Madaling i-disinfect yung mga housing ng mga backyard, pero yun ang problema pa rin kasi siyempre, nandyan, lumilipad yung virus, baka naman kahit na free na yung area nila, yung kanilang pens, baka meron din manggagaling sa malapit. So
Ayun.
yun ang danger niya.
So it
So
would, oh,
talaga
go ahead.
yung buong area dapat ma-ensure natin na free na siya bago tayo mag-repopulate. Kaya tinatawag namin calibrated repopulation para siguraduhin natin na within a bigger area, medyo safe na maglagay ng sentinel pigs muna ang ilalagay natin.
Mhm.
Yung sentinel pigs, i-observe natin, pagka okay na siya, that's the time na talagang full swing na tayo sa repopulation. May
You,
protocol tayo na
oh,
meron na tayong protocols on repopulation, pinag-usapan na natin ng ating mga magagaling na veterinarians at yun ang susundin natin kasi hindi naman pwede sito na forever pabayaan na natin itong areas na tinamaan. Kailangan we will plan for repopulation so that pagdating ng araw naman ay babalik na yung livelihood ng ating mga hog farmers.
okay. Doon
And
po ba sa protocol USEC, kasi sabi mo may sentinel pigs, no? Kayo magsusupply po ba ang Department of Agriculture? Ano po bang inputs pwedeng mahiling? What can we request in terms of inputs from the DA? Kasi to buy sentinel pigs nowadays are still about 2,000 piglets, 2,000 each. So hindi mura ang mag-umpisa ulit. Tapos bibili ka siyempre ng isang sakong feed, mahigit 1,000 yan. Baka yung iba sabihin, nako, tsaka isa pa pala, Yusek, may sumbong ako sa'yo na inaangal ng mga ibang tao, yung daw kanilang mga claim. Baka tapos na yung 2021, hindi pa nababayaran at bakit daw nililimit sa 20 pigs, kung nanganak, 3 inahin mo, nanganak, di mahigit 21 na kagad. Can you explain those things, Yusek?
Again, base sa ating guidelines, ang classification po kasi ng backyard ay kailangan hanggang 20 lang na ulo. Pag lumampas sa 20, iba na yung classification, mga magiging semi-commercial. Yun ay hindi nakasama sa guidelines ng
Okay.
implementation.
Bakit daw ang tagal, Yusek? Sino ba nagbabayad ng indemnification?
May naman medyo sa on the part of the Department of Agriculture dito sa Central, basta makapag-submit po ang LGUs through the regional field offices ng kompletong dokumento, okay? Mabilis din po ang bayad. Ang problema lang, may mga areas kasi na yung mga sinasubmit na mga documentary requirements as proof na talagang nagkaroon ng depopulation, yung mga pangalan ng mga farmers, medyo mabagal po yung submission dito.
Okay. Pero kung masubmit na kumpleto dyan, how long does it take?
Ay, mabilis lang. Within 1 week, may action na po kami dito.
Sige,
Oo.
testingin natin.
Hindi po nagtatagal yan. Oo.
Okay. Yusek, last question. Yung sentinel pigs, does the DA provide it or kanya-kanya pa rin?
Opo, magandang tanong yan because recently, out of the Bayanihan to Stimulus package, naglaan si Secretary Dar ng 110 million. Ang 110 million po ay ginamit natin ito to establish swine multiplier breeder farms in partnership with farmers cooperatives, with local government units and state universities. At ito manggagaling mamaya yung i-distribute din natin sa mga backyard farmers. Kasama na yung
Ayun.
tinatawag natin sentinel. So, nagpipirmahan na po ng Memorandum of Agreement, may mga releases na rin kami.
Hmm.
And next year, once na manganak lahat ito, itong mga swine multiplier breeder farms, ito na yung continuous, sustainable source ng mga biik na ipamimigay po natin sa ating mga backyard farmers.
Ayun. Okay.
Tuloy-tuloy po yan.
Okay. Yusek, maraming salamat. At least may mga nasagot na katanungan, naliwanagan yung mga ibang nangungulit sa akin. And thank you for giving us an assistance. Medyo ako po ay ship muna ako sa poultry. Medyo masakit ang tama sa akin. Sumakit ang bato ko, hindi dahil sa lechon dahil sa walang lechon.
Huwag kang ma-discourage. Dapat babalik ka rin sa swine program.
Okay.
We hope na next year, kagaya nitong COVID, we hope na next year ay darating na rin yung vaccine ng ASF at may mga may mga applications, mga private firms na gustong magpapasok na ng vaccine for trial.
Okay. That's good news. I didn't even know about that. That's good news, Yusek.
We are in a technical discussion dito mga veterinary natin sa BAE na kung paano yung pag-import din natin ng ASF vaccine, kung ano yung mga protocols na gagamitin din natin. So magkaroon tayo ng trial so that in due time, sana ma-control na natin totally itong ASF na ito with the vaccine.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yusek Willie, and keep doing a great job. Maraming salamat po sa suporta ninyo at tulong nyo sa mamamayang Pilipino dyan sa Department of Agriculture.
Maraming salamat din sa tulong mo, Cito. At siyempre, tayo naman dito ay serbisyo para sa ating bayan at sa ating mga magsasaka.
Okay. Yan po, si Yusek, Undersecretary Willie Medrano of the Department of Agriculture. Ayan po, quick summary lang, no? Yung ASF po, maraming sabi-sabi, sinasabi nila, pag tumama, within 1 week, ubos yung babuyan nyo. Hindi po totoo yun. Kasi yung sa akin, inabot pa ng 6 na linggo, halos 2 buwan, na dahan-dahang tinotodas yung mga, at nagumpisa sa baboy damo ko. Kasi karamihan ng mga alaga ko, baboy damo, tinodas yung mga biik. Sabi nila, ang tinutumba ng ASF ay yung mga inahin, ang tinumba po, mga biik. So everything that was said about ASF, as far as my place is concerned, was contrary. They said, ASF downs the hogs. No, it downed the piglets. They said wild boars or wild pigs are resilient. Inuna yung wild pigs, mga wild piglets. So, pagkatas lumipat na doon sa mga puti, pero hindi instant death. At saka hindi po yung symptomatic. Kumbaga, sabi, pumuputok, dinudugo, etc. Hindi, hihiga na lang, ayaw nang kumain ng 4-5 araw, tapos biglang kinabukasan, todas na. So, ganun po, no? Tsaka medyo, yung baboy damo ko, hindi ko na nga nasabi kay Sir Willie, ginamot namin, parang naka-recover. Kanya lang, nagdesisyon na yung veterinarian doon sa Lipa City, Sir Cito, mabuhay man yan, malamang mamamatay din yan kasi ganun na experience nila. So, we don't challenge. No? In any case, ASF is all over the country and medyo kailangan po talaga hindi malaman. Sabi nga ni Sir Willie, hindi lilipad. Sabi ng ibang veterinaryo, hindi lumilipad yan. Sa amin at saka yung mga kapitbahay, nangyari after Typhoon Rolly. Okay? And Ulysses. So, we all have our opinions, but at the end of the day, we bury the pigs. So anyway, we'll go for a break. When we come back, kausapin naman po natin si Sir Sergio Sergio Ortiz-Luis ng PECP or President PECP, ng ECP, Employers Confederation of the Philippines. We'll be right back here on Agenda. Welcome back to your program Agenda. I'm Cito Beltran, your host. And at this stage, let's now go to our third and final interview with Sergio Ortiz-Luis Jr., President of the ECOP, Employers Confederation of the Philippines. Sergio, good morning, sir. Happy New Year.
Hi, good morning, Cito, and Happy New Year also to you and your listeners.
Okay, do you have things to be happy about or expectant for 2021? Kasi mainit na pinag-uusapan. I think the hot topic is the vaccine, and that the private sector, such as your members, have already procured or made reservations for vaccines for their employees. Anything else that makes you hopeful or optimistic about 2021?
Well, things are improving, although not at the pace that we would like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Even the employment is already improving, as should be expected, because of the lockdown is being gradually disappearing from our midst. No, but
Mm-hmm.
still there's still a lot of to be desired. And also, in the matter of reporting, I wish that the reporting of on the COVID will be more something that can be appreciated by the people. Not yung formula nila na we are confused sometimes of what it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now as far as the economy is concerned, kasi I remember over the holidays, I was observing and soliciting feedback from people, and there was cause for concern. A number of people pointed to the fact that if we base it on consumer spending, medyo matumal. It was parang haphazard, last minute. And then everybody stopped already. Everybody concentrated on food, not much on anything else. What's your reaction or what's your forecast for the year?
Well, I think it will be towards the lower end of the government's projection. No,
Mm-hmm.
even our export, we had to. I think you must have seen the 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 the, the projection that Secretary Lopez made.
Yeah.
That we're cutting our projection even up to the year 2022, which was supposed to originally before COVID was $130 billion. Now
Mm-hmm.
we had cut it to by about to almost 100 to 110 billion dollars only.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big shock to the sector because our market is not ready and our production capacity is not that capable. So I think the more realistic one is that 100 to 110 billion dollars,
Mm-hmm.
and that's reflective of the local economy also. Not everybody that are supposed to be working already are able to work. Not everybody that can report for work are being called. Take for instance sa mga malls, no?
Mm-hmm.
Christmas season has passed. In previous years, uh, tens of thousands of workers have been hired, even on seasonal basis during Christmas season. But they have not even recalled their usual workforce. So can you imagine how many were able to miss this work? And in transportation, still we are not we can't understand why we don't still have mass transportation. As early as May, the business sector has already requested AITF if they can possibly bring all the transportation that was plying the street before COVID back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and well, of course, except yung mga kolorum, except
Yeah.
yung mga roadworthy, except yung those who cannot follow the protocols that are being given. And even if you have brought it back all, what would have happened is that because of the spacing, the social distancing, kulang. But that is not what they addressed. What they
Mm-hmm.
address is you beep, IF, and the modernization of the jeepneys, modernization of the truck, those could have been later on done after
Mhm.
things went back to the nearest
But
normal.
Sir Sergio, the private sector has been known, in the Philippines at least, no, yung hindi magawa-gawa ng gobyerno or what the government fails to address, we in the private sector almost ultimately find solutions for. Now, what are the chances that the ECOP members will end up just providing bicycles and motorcycles to their employees just to get people to come to work on time and regularly?
Well, our members are mostly the upper end of the small and then the medium and the large
Yeah.
companies. But 90% of our enterprises are micro. They're not really our members. They are support. They're
Mm.
they're in the supply chain of our members, but they're
Mm.
direct our members. So yung aming members, even before, when they said mag-supply kayo ng shuttle, well, everybody tried at a great expense, and even now, we're still doing supply, and it's very expensive affair. And
Uh-huh.
and the big ones have difficulty because hindi naman nakakadating do sa pick-up points yung mga tao dahil wala pa rin
Correct.
yung mga transportations na and provincial buses are not yet our employees cannot even go home to their provinces, and if they do they cannot return because there are no mass transportation here in northern Luzon, no?
Yeah.
So that is the
But
problem.
yeah, but I've observed like Vietnam, Malaysia, there is a big bulk of their people, workers, who are on two wheels. And I don't know, I'm not badgering you on this, no? Pero parang feeling ko lang na baka no choice na tayo na ma-shift na natin ang mga empleyado because I have friends who have done that. They've essentially provided either bicycles or motorcycles to their staff. Kasi sabi, Sito, kung hintayin pa namin yung public transport na yan, maninigas na yung negosyo namin.
So yun. Well, I mean, for us, the choices, yung sa mga malalaki, hindi bicycles, the shuttle ang sinusupply nila, no?
Mm,
And
mm.
ang problema, hindi naman lahat pwede mong i-shuttle eh. At
Mhm.
iba-iba yung pinanggagalingan lugar, plus marami nga work from home
Mm.
ang nangyayari. But that cannot be forever, no? And
Okay.
hindi namin maintindihan bakit na hindi isa-isahin yung mga areas na yan at tanggalin yung mga problema, especially sa transportation. I think transportation was one of the biggest baggage that itong revival of the economy is carrying from the day one. Every time na magre-relax tayo sa hindi naman nakakasunod ang transportation. So hindi
Mhm.
nakakapasok yung mga tao, yung mga companies that have difficulty in supplying shuttle, ayaw na lang nila magpapasok. So
Okay.
maraming
Yeah.
nawawala ng opportunity. Even the drivers, there are still hundreds of thousands of drivers that are out of job.
You mentioned earlier that you have members who have not even called back their regular staff, much
Yes.
less yung mga seasonal staff, no? What is the reason? Is it because they really don't have business to run? Kumbaga, no, wala talagang negosyo? Or what could be the reason?
Well, una-una, we're a consumer, before the COVID, no? Wala yung mga consumer spending is not there. Look at the malls, no?
Mm.
Uh, Wala namang tao halos nagpupunta except if there are special occasions that they have to go there. So wala talagang yung mga malls, marami yung nag-open sila, they're shortening now the time
Mm.
because walang kita eh. Yung mga locators sa malls, they don't like to open because sayang yung nila, pag open nila, ang daming locators. Alam mo naman, yung mga malls, maraming locators, hindi pa nagbubukas yung madami.
Mm.
Unang-una nga, yung problema sa transportation is too expensive for them.
One of the complaints or hinaing, lament that I've heard from a number of businessmen is that uh, rents are not adjusting to the reality of the business. Kumbaga, sa katulad sa mall, ang rent mo 50% discount pero ang allowed number of people is only 20%. Or yung mga church, yung mga Christian churches, ang rent mo binaba sa 50% pero you're only allowed 10% of the capacity. Has this been raised by the ECOP with the authorities? Kasi I know of a very big billboard company, 82 years na raw in the making, in operation. And balita ko, sinasara na nila kasi nakita ko nga on Slex medyo puro bakante na yung kanilang mga pwesto because they said, ayaw magbaba ng rent ng mga landowner. Nagpapabawas naman yung mga kliyente namin, so isara na lang namin yung kumpanya. Is
Plus
this
the fact that a lot of companies do not advertise anymore, no? And a lot of things. One of the things that I noticed this Christmas, for instance, no,
yeah.
Walang kumalat na yung mga memo books na dati all companies wala kang matatanggap na
Mga calendar?
dati calendar planner wala ako nakita nagpagawa. Meron mga regulars dati na minsan di mo alam sa papamigay. Ngayon lahat naghahanap. Walang planners, ganun ka yung problema ro sa negosyo.
Okay. But has there been a shift? Has there been a noticeable shift? Meaning, okay, nagkalugi-lugi dito, pero yung mga ibang members mo naman, kumbaga nakakabawi. Has there been such a shift?
It's true. Yung mga deliveries, yung mga that are good in mga internet business, but kukunti lang yun. I mean, there would be 5% of yung mga opportunities that were open to those, no? There would be 5% of the usual business. Lumaki yun, pero ilan lang yun.
Okay. Now, what are your, anong tingin nyo? Kasi yesterday I spoke with Congresswoman Kimbo and kinulit ko nga siya regarding the wish list of business sector that you are all waiting for the create, the whatever bills, legislation para makatulong sa business. What are your expectations this year? Are you hopeful, or do you think you're going to get help from the government in terms of support to survive COVID, or are we going to see a lot of or more companies closing in 2021?
Well, I think companies are opening, and those who are not fully 100% are slowly, but very slow. Dapat sana mas mabilis, no? Our business, our export has been for the last several months been increasing. Dati negative na napakalaki, ngayon nagpa-positive na, no? But sana ang laki nung hinahabol. Hindi makakaya unless government really steps in and talagang mag-double time and help, no?
In what sense?
Well, mag-concentrate doon sa isa-isahin nila industries, for instance. Alin ba yung mga hindi nakakapasok, ano ba yung mga low-hanging fruits na po pwede nating bigyan ng pagkakataon yan? Like mining, for instance. That can be something that will save our economy. Mag-concentrate ron. Sports, ang daming sports, ang daming walang trabaho na po pwede naman. I mean, you also got daming nawala ng trabaho. 50,000 siguro because of the regulations ang hindi nakakapasok doon. And in Thailand.
Natatawa ko dahil alam ko love mo yung golf. Hindi ako member ng Hampas Lupa Brigade, pero marami naman akong kaibigan na sa Bungero, and sila naman ang nagsasabi na it's a multi-billion industry that cannot function and pinapayagan lang isang limited group ng online. So parang sinasabi nga nila, we look down on golf, we look down on sabong and all these other sports, but they employ thousands and thousands of Filipinos. So you're right there.
In Thailand,
Hmm.
yung foreigners, when they go back, you have a choice. You can have your quarantine 14 days in a golf course.
Wow.
You play every day. That show how dangerous golf is. And yet, doon nagko-concentrate ng paghihigpit. All, dapat pabayaan na lang nila yung mga mga duwag yung mga, lalo na yung mga seniors sa golf, they will make their own rules harder than what they are doing. But they're going to things that hindi naman kailangan and causing loss of jobs. Pag yung jeepney modernization, can you imagine? Gano'ng katagal magmula nung mag-umpisa yung COVID, ang daming nagugutom, namamalimos na drivers. Kung from the very start, sinabi na lang, yung modernization na yan, tsaka na lang yan. Yung RFID na yan, napakaraming pinakailan, napakaraming perang kinapture niyan. Bakit? Pilit nilang ginagawa, sinasabi rito sa problema.
So, what is the situation right now? Last question ko na lang sa'yo, Sir Sergio. What is the situation or what is the relationship of business with the IATF and with government? Kasi in 2020, the biggest complaint was there was no consultation. Kumbaga, there was no representation, no consultation, and a lot of businessmen were saying, if we're going to be affected by the policies, we should be part of the policy crafting. What is the situation so far? Ganun pa rin ba?
Well, we are invited to the meetings, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they follow our advices. We have some recommendations. They have not even answered formally, but by and large, don't get me wrong. By and large, I think they're doing a great job considering the situation. But there is still a lot of improvement that can be made.
Okay, well, I do hope that things improve in 2021 and good point kasi siyempre ang gusto ng inyong grupo is for employment to increase, for people to have money in their pockets and for businesses to at least speed up in 2021. Thank you very much, Sir Sergio.
Thank you, Cito.
Okay, that's Sergio Ortiz-Luis of the ECOP, Employers Confederation of the Philippines. Ayun po, no? Mukhang yung hinaing, the lament of the Employers Confederation is still there, the lack of mobility or mass transport for their employees. And I guess it is something that will have to be addressed by the government this year. Sana po ay gumalaw na and mahanap natin. If not, magkakanya-kanya tayong padyak. And I just pray to God, hindi magiging kanya-kanyang bili ng bakuna, which is beginning to evolve. If you listen to the LGUs, kanya-kanya ng palista. We'll tackle that tomorrow, and we hope you had an interesting day. We hope we were able to inform you, and we ask for your prayers. To my friends, please pray for my sister Marisa, who is having her second chemotherapy today. I just pray that her taste buds are not affected. Alam mo naman kami mga Beltran, yung panlasa napakahalaga. Anyway, God bless all of you. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us today.